Hey, what's up everyone? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here with a list video for you guys. Now for this list, I'll be going over 5 of my favorite films that released in the year 2002. Now 2002 definitely had some good films to come out then, and we're going to briefly go over some of those in this video. Keep in mind this list is in no particular order either, so let's go ahead and get started. So I think the first film we'll go over here is The Transporter with Jason Statham, and I love this movie. This is not only my favorite Jason Statham movie, but also one of my favorite action films of the early 2000s. What a great movie this is. I mean, I've heard a lot of arguments that The Transporter never needed sequels, and when you really think about it, no, The Transporter never needed sequels, but we got sequels anyway. Now, when it comes to Transporter 2 and 3, I think they're okay, but they definitely don't reach the heights that this film reaches. I mean, none of them come close to this. I mean, I'll just stick to this if I'm being honest. I mean, this is definitely an essential to check out if you consider yourself a Jason Statham fan, because this was the film that basically put Jason Statham on the map and really made him be this big action star. And I really like that this film is straight to the point, and it doesn't overstay its welcome or anything. And of course, I dig the action. All in all, just a great movie. Definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. So next, we have Infernal Affairs with Andy Lau. And when it comes to Andy Lau, I think he's a really good actor. Really good performance from him, of course, in this film. I mean, it's a pretty solid Hong Kong movie. When a lot of people think of Andy Lau and his filmography, this is definitely one of the films that come to mind. So you could say that when it comes to essential movies with Andy Lau, you could put this up there on that list. But yeah, pretty good movie, I'd say. It's very dramatic, it's very intense, and yeah, some cool stuff. So Infernal Affairs, solid movie for sure. So next, we have Hero with Jet Li. And this is a very solid movie, very solid martial arts movie. And I dig the style of this movie too, and how artsy this movie can be as well. And just the way everything looks and everything, just very cool stuff. I mean, of course, great performance from Jet Li. You also have Donnie Yen in the movie as well. And Zhang Ziyi is also in the movie, who was in, I believe, Rush Hour 2. But yeah, everyone does a fine job in this movie for sure. And if you like these kind of martial arts type films, you'll probably like this. You'll probably like this, so definitely give this one a watch. So, Hero with Jet Li, great movie. So next, we got a film that I think would make a lot of people's top lists when we're talking about the best films of 2002. And that would, of course, be Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie directed by Sam Raimi, starring Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Now, for the longest time, I considered this to be my favorite Spider-Man movie, but as time went on, that's pretty much changed. I definitely think the second film is better, and the second Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, I think, is the best of any of the live-action Spider-Man movies, if I'm being honest. So, when it comes to the first film, though, it's still a great movie. I mean, there's no denying that. It's still a classic, still a great movie without a doubt. I mean, you do have Willem Dafoe playing the Goblin in this movie, and you really can't imagine anyone else playing that role other than him. And of course, he did come back for Spider-Man No Way Home. But Willem Dafoe, great Green Goblin for sure. And yeah, the story's emotional, you know, even how he becomes Spider-Man and everything. So yeah, great movie. I mean, what could I say about the first Spider-Man movie that hasn't already been said? It's a classic and definitely a great movie, and definitely an essential comic book movie for sure. And if you claim to love superhero films, this is definitely essential right here. So Spider-Man, great film. I know some say that the film hasn't aged too well, you know, due to the cheesiness of the film and even the Goblin's costume, but it's still a classic, and you know, you can't deny that. It's definitely a good movie. So the last film on this list, we got Blade 2 with Wesley Snipes. Great movie, and definitely the best of the Blade movies. I think it's better than the first film, even though the first one is a good film. I think the second one is better. Blade Trinity, forget about it. I mean, you could easily just pass up on that movie. But Blade 2, I dig this film. I dig the story and how dark it is and everything, the characters. Wesley Snipes, of course, does great in this movie. Definitely one of his best performances. Donnie Yen is also in the movie as well. And there's another guy in this movie as well that's a familiar face. Oh, Norman Reedus. He's also in this film, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Blade 2, of course, can't go wrong. I mean, again, like with the first Spider-Man movie, what can I say about Blade 2 that hasn't already been said? I mean, everybody that's seen this film will tell you good things. So yeah, I am one that will tell you that this is definitely worth checking out. So Blade 2, great movie, and you could say it's one of the best comic book movies ever made. You could honestly say that, especially of this time, of the early 2000s. So there you have it, Blade 2, great movie. So let me know what you think. What are your top 5 favorite films that released in 2002? Feel free to let me know in the comments. And what did you think of this list? Feel free to let me know. So with that said, thank you for watching, take care, and have a good one.